buddies. It is your Boob Tube Betties. I'm Kristin.
And I'm Bethany.
And we are here reviewing American Horror Story.
Chapter 7.
Chapter? Is that how I say it?
Chapter 7.
We agreed to switch, and apparently I have an Australian accent. Chapter 7.
On American Horror Story.
Horror Story.
I'm like Kathy Bates. Accents are not usually my strong suit.
I had no idea I had this accent.
Surprise you though, just
Welcome, little buddies. We are talking about American Horror Story, Chapter 7. It is... Oh, man. I don't have words for this chapter, this episode.
I just lied to you during the sound test. This episode blew me the F away. It was so good.
Oh, my God. It was so good. Oh, but before we get all clumped over here about Chapter 7...
I'm there already.
Let's do our shiz.
Yep.
Please follow us on...
Instagram, Twitter, boobtubebuddies.com, Facebook, Reddit, and email us at boobtubebuddies@gmail.com.
See what I did there? I couldn't remember any of it, so I made you do it.
Well, I like the pressure because it made me say it.
You're giving me these eyes like, I'm trying to remember. And please give us a review on iTunes. That is the best way to support the podcast.
Also follow us on the black market. No?
And just to let you know what else we've got going on if you are enjoying this. The buddies have, oh my God, so much stuff. Luke Cage, Westworld, Ash versus the Evil Dead, Walking Dead, they just started.
Yes.
We've got American Horror Story, and we just did Rocky Horror Picture Show, Let's Do the Time Warp Again.
And Adam and Bethany are getting divorced.
Oh, yeah, and divorce. Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen to that. Me and my husband talk about divorce. It's good stuff.
Actually think it's really healthy.
It's super healthy.
I do.
We're doing much better for it.
I like it.
All right, but let's talk about American Horror Story.
Want to do a little housekeeping first?
Housekeeping? Yes, I have housekeeping. Do you want to do your housekeeping first?
No, go for it.
Housekeeping! Last week I wondered about Evan Peters' height. I thought he looked short. He's not short. He's 5'11", which is kind of short. I like 6. I like 6 or over.
Me too.
Being that I'm 5'11" myself.
My hubby's 6'2".
Is he 6'2"? Wow, I didn't realize he was that tall. Adam is, I think, almost 6'1".
Well, we're tall girls, so, for average.
I'm not 5'11", by the way. I just lied. My scoliosis makes me shorter each year.
She's 28 and 5'11".
I'm going to be 5'2" in a couple years, the way I'm going. Also, Kristin thought Holland Taylor might be English.
I don't think she is. I think she's just really proper American.
Well, I'm sorry to report that she hails from Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay.
So, not British. Number 3. You and I, we went back and forth about that burnt zombie appearance. Was it Mason? Was it Guinness?
I don't think it was either, was it?
Well, I think we got a little wrapped up in it because we would have no idea. I think that we sort of forgot that the real person wouldn't look like either one of the actors. And I know we talked about that later with the dirt nurses.
Yeah, no, they didn't look like it, but I always refer to IMDb and I didn't see anything. But I haven't looked back yet. So.
I think that the way we talked about it on our last chapter, it sounded a little convoluted. Mm-hmm. So I would just like to say that I think that I got myself a little bit confused. So I'm trying to lump you in with my idiocy.
What is wrong with us?
Lastly, which is very interessante, to quote you.
Okay. Oh, I stole that, but yes. From the Spaniards.
I hate to say this, but your airtight theory about who would live out of everyone in the house.
Listen.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
You know what's so funny is I've got no thoughts and theories at the end because at the end of this episode, I gave up.
Mind blown.
I give up on theories and thoughts, and honestly, I'm happy that I'm wrong, and you know why? Because they're still keeping us guessing.
I am nodding vigorously.
I was very actually happy. It was almost like, I'm wrong, but yes, thank God I am, because that's awesome. It's not predictable.
It's hard for me to contain my excitement, which when I get that way, I am at a loss for words. Mm-hmm. This episode was crazy.
Left me speechless.
Oh my gosh. I thought chapter 6 was my favorite episode of the season. Then last night happened.
No. Last night was my favorite episode out of every American Horror Story episode ever.
To quote you on our very first recap episode, surprise, bitch!
Surprise, bitch!
Chapter 7 of season 6 is my favorite episode of American Horror Story.
All time.
Period.
Me too.
Hand up.
Me too.
Let's clink to that, my friend.
Absolutely. Clink to drink. No, I'm dead serious. I think it left me with a little bit of PTSD. I'm not gonna lie.
It was insane. Like, I felt like Brad and Ryan were like, you want it?
Here you
got
go.
it. Because the first 5 episodes, well, there was the 6th episode.
Yeah.
But the previous episodes were dedicated to other seasons, and then this was like, this is season 6.
This was holy shit. Like,
fuck you in your asshole. Like,
yes, exactly. We're gonna do it in your BH, and you're gonna like it. No, and at the risk of sounding really dorky, I had a bit of nightmares last night, and for something to actually do that to me, horror wise, like that's crazy. Like that, again speechless.
Yes.
It was such a good episode. I felt like it was almost 3 different horror movies all in one episode. Like you were watching 3 different terrifying scenarios.
It's their crowning achievement.
Oh, absolutely.
It's almost a shame that there's going to be more episodes because I don't necessarily know how they can possibly top episode 7.
I mean, you're right. I don't know how they could possibly top episode 7. But to be fair, we didn't know how they could top episode 6, and then we were literally just completely knocked off our ass. Oh, not only could you top it, but you could top every single episode that I've seen thus far since, 2011?
Yes. Oh my god.
So good.
Let's talk about this bad boy.
Oh wait, one more thing I've got for housekeeping.
Sorry. Yes, I'm so sorry.
I've got a creepy little man that likes to follow us and listen to us. And I want to give him a shout out. His name's Corey Benson. And, apart from his creepiness, he's pretty fucking awesome. And he does listen to us. So we actually have one friend. We have one friend. And we're giving a shout out to you, sir. So thank you.
You know what would be awesome? To have more creep stars following us.
I would love to have so many creepsters following us.
Send us weird comments like, I imagine what your scalp tastes like. Like, I would welcome that at this point.
Yeah,
but actually, I wouldn't welcome that.
He hugged me one time and said, I didn't know that's what you smelled like awake.
That's what we want.
Give the people what they want.
Come on. I want to open my window shades in the morning and see your face plastered against it.
Yep. So thank you, CB. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.
All right.
You want to open the
scene?
You want to start us off?
Yeah, sure.
I love the deep breath because it's so much.
It's like, so like I don't even know where to go. You've got found footage of a deer eating grass, and you see a pilgrim-ish woman right behind a dirt pilgrim right behind it, and then it kind of flashes almost like it's an edited thing, and then she's gone.
Mm-hmm. And we see footage from this particular camera angle, quite a lot in this episode. Yeah. Go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Is that the same one that the trio were running past towards the end?
I don't remember specifically. I know while I was watching it for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Yes, I watched it 3 times.
Oh, so good.
That camera angle you see, I don't want to say a handful of times, but a few times from that camera angle, and I didn't know if that meant something. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's right outside the production trailer that they've hidden in the woods. And we've got douchey douchebag Sid and his cameraman.
And the PA Alyssa.
Yes.
Sydney loves the drums, though. Like, he's celebrating, hoping that real Matt will start a fight with Dominic.
Thank you. My notes are
just so... like, it's okay.
So it's like searching.
No, and he...
It's like the Bible over here.
Right? In normal fashion, he completely eats it up. Alyssa brings...
Do something, Matt. He slept with your wife. He's like... jeering Matt on from a distance, watching... and what we're seeing is Dominic coming into the house, the scene from last week, and Matt seeing that Dominic is there when he wasn't supposed to be there.
Quote.
And I didn't put 75 cameras in this house for nothing.
Yep. And then Alyssa brings food, asks about Diana, and Sydney blows it off.
Yeah. We don't need Diana if she can't see my vision, etc. And this is right off of Matt climaxing after watching... Or not Matt. What? Sid climaxing after watching Matt and Dominic go at it. Yeah. So she had brought them food, and I think she's a little bit put off by Sid. So she goes outside.
Yeah. Cameraman, then they start eating, and then cameraman sees Rory getting stabbed on the screen, but Sydney thinks it's a joke. So they go to rewind it, and they hear a scream outside.
Yes. And Sid goes outside, and he's asking, Alyssa, are you okay? Shit, get your camera boy.
This guy's such a stand-up dude. I really think that he only deserves the best in the future.
The camera dude?
Sydney.
Oh, Sydney. Oh, yes.
For that long future that he has ahead of him.
Yeah, I see Emmys. I see an EGOT in his future.
Absolutely. Or a Saturn.
Oh, yes.
I definitely see a Saturn award in his future.
Poor Alyssa, her throat has been sliced open. She's bleeding out. And it's like he's more into getting it on film than he is about helping poor Alyssa. And who do you see charge out of the bushes? No other than fucking Agnes as the butcher. And she cleaves Sid in the guts. Camera guy keeps filming. I think he's missing
just doing what he's told.
I think he's missing a few brain cells here. What?
More in shock, really, probably. Because it's not like he runs. Well, no, he tries to run, but he's like, oh God,
me.
Oh God.
I don't run.
It's not fight or flight.
I don't fight or flight. I freeze. He must be a freezer.
Piss yourself.
Oh. And clearly he is stabbed to death, and he falls to the ground. You see the camera like...
Yep.
And Agnes takes the camera, aims it at herself, and she says, I am the tree. I can't.
I am the tree and lightning that strikes it. I can't do it either. Yeah.
I know. There's just no doing it. Kathy Bates, hats off, my friend. But there's blood
Ryan
spatter.
Murphy was right, by the way. This was her freaking episode.
Oh,
man.
I have that at the end. Yes, This was incredible.
God.
Creme de la creme of performances.
It's ridiculous.
Blood spatter on her face. It's wonderful, and it was a good surprise too. When she came out of the, I was not
expecting that.
Awesome.
And then we get commercial, and we come back, and Sarah is looking for Rory everywhere, and Matt's like, no, dude.
not Sarah.
Oh,
Audrey.
Whoops.
No, the only reason I call you out on that is because Angela Bassett, I couldn't remember her character's name when I was typing up the notes, so I just put AB for her, and I'm like, I thought it was Marcel. I'm like, it's definitely not Marcel. It's something artsy.
It is something artsy.
Monet.
But Monet actually says, stop scaring her. If you're so spooked, why'd you even come back?
Right, and this is after Matt had said, I told you, R is for Rory, as they're looking at the murder in blood, or spray paint, whatever that is, on that murder wall.
Yep.
And he's so unfeeling. Doesn't he seem like just so out of it? I mean, we find out.
Canned and scripted and zombie-like.
Well, later he says how he hasn't even felt like a human.
Yep.
He doesn't seem like a human.
Nope. So they go to look for Rory everywhere in the house. And then Audrey and Monet are walking upstairs, and Lee's recording them. And Audrey's like, are you going to stick that thing in my face like the entire time we're here? Which, that's how I feel every time I'm here, because she literally podcasts with her naked butt in my face the entire time. And I just really fell for Audrey at that moment.
I don't, but it wouldn't be surprising if I did, as I love to shock people with my nude body.
Shock and awe. No, Lee says, listen, I'm going to keep filming everybody because this is my story, and I'm not going to let them tell it. I'm going to tell my own story.
Yes. The next scene is showing them all going upstairs to look for Rory. Audrey's been looking for Rory, I think, for about a week now, since last Wednesday.
Yep. She hasn't left. Like, she's still in that robe, guys.
I know. It's crazy. Dominic.
Blood Moon's over.
Dominic calls them into the closet because he has found blood everywhere.
This is one of my favorite parts, like the tiniest favorite part. Oh, Brad Pitt.
Oh, I like that too. But I do like that they're asking, is it real? And Dominic says, I've done my fair share of slasher films. That don't smell like corn syrup. But where's the body? And you're absolutely right. Audrey is like, oh my God, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. This is Rory. I can't believe him.
He had a better offer, and Sydney talked him into doing this grand exit where it looks like he's been hurt.
And then she goes into the confessional with like a cigarette and an I'm old rant.
I know, like, I was batshit crazy to think this would work. And then she details their 15-year age gap.
Yeah.
15 years? Girl looks good. But how old is he supposed to be then? 23? He acts real young. He's 15. He's 15, she's 30.
Late 30s.
In real life, or supposed to be on
I think
here?
in the show she's like in her late 30s.
I was surprised when she said 15. I know last year we hypothesized, last year.
I love the time that's going by.
Oh my God, time. What are we in right now?
So then it cuts to Agnes in her, quote, cave, talking to the camera, mumbling butcher quotes in her accent.
Isn't it the cellar where Dr.
Is that what it is?
Dr.
Is that the same?
Was?
Okay. I couldn't gather.
I just assumed.
No, you're probably right.
And she's made her little torch, her homemade torch. But her super fucking expensive camera or is pointed at her.
I'm guessing
she probably stole it.
Yeah, I'm guessing she stole it. But like, it's interesting how she like goes from like the butcher quotes and almost starts to slowly become lucid and remembers the girl that she just killed, Alyssa, just had a baby.
Okay, can we talk about this? Because this scene was amazing. And I thought it was an incredible piece of acting.
Oh my God. Like it was so, I can't even. Like, I just can't even.
This is what Brad and Ryan must have been talking about when they said that this was the performance.
The most beautiful, perfected roller coaster of emotions that she shows Agnes going through, the in and out of, oh my God, these are real people. Wait, I'm the butcher, and they screwed me over. Like, that kind of back and forth was just incredible.
Yeah, so she, as the butcher, says, he shouldn't have cast me aside. He deserves to rot in hell. And then this look crosses her face, and it just is a tribute to what an amazing actress she is. And she's back to being Agnes, not the butcher. The accent is gone, and she says, oh, she had a baby, and she's referring to Alyssa, the assistant that she killed.
Yeah.
I liked her. She always made sure I had a cooler tent when it was hot.
Yep.
And she says, oh God, what have I done? I robbed that baby of a mother. And my little eyes went,
oh God.
Which again, means the tear factory.
My heart was like squeezed. But then again, she goes back into the butcher voice and reminds her as to why what she's doing is okay.
Yeah, she justifies.
It was my destiny. They chose me.
I was the fan favorite.
They only booked me for 3 episodes, but I got 5.
I loved it.
So
fans wanted more.
And then she actually says, she starts spouting out Irish quotes. And
I'm glad you said that because I didn't understand. I was like garbled nonsense.
I looked it up, and what she said was, "I am the queen of every hive," in Irish. It's actually from that Song of Amerigen, the one that we talked about in the first or second one. So it came from that.
I got a mouthful of beer. Sorry.
That's all good. The light then goes out. You hear chanting. She finally. She wants to know who's there, all that. She finally gets the light on. And then
is she Agnes here, or is she the butcher here?
I think that she was the butcher all the way up until all the lights went out. And then she's like, oh, wait, hold on. Okay. And she goes back, and then all of a sudden the lights are back on.
Now she's a sassy black lady?
now she's Monet. No, but then all of a sudden the lights come back on, and there's straw dolls.
Who dis?
Everywhere. I don't know what they're called. The True Detective things. Like
they don't look like straw dolls to me this time. They look like crucifixes.
They're actually the identical thing that everybody found hanging in the Blair Witch Project. Right. I'm not kidding you. It was like literally the same thing.
That's what we said in the first episode, that I think that it was the same thing.
Yeah, and it was it's like a person hanging with circular, so it's like a pentagram and a person hanging all at once. It's not that important, but
you know how in movies Adam and I do this sometimes. You can tell what products they're advertising in movies because they'll pan to the Pepsi can or the Cheez-Its box. Yeah. That's what I feel like this is. It's like they're showing you the Blair Witch symbol.
Yeah.
Advertising Blair Witch.
Oh, yeah.
With a little Pepsi Cola sign.
Holding a Pepsi Cola. Right. All of the straw dolls were just holding miniature Pepsi Colas. I love that we keep calling it Pepsi Cola.
Isn't that what the original brand was called? Yes. Pepsi Cola? But anyway, that was super scary because the lights went on, and as soon or whatever, the torch light, those things were there, and she was sort of screaming.
Yeah, and then it cuts to Monet.
Scene, yes. It's daylight, and Monet, Dom, and Lee are in the dining room, and Lee is being super obnoxious and preachy about alcoholism.
Yeah.
They've just had a terrible night. So, yeah, Monet is going to tip one back.
Yeah.
And Dom's like, leave her alone. And Lee says it's like handing a killer a loaded gun. And I love that as Dom is walking past, he says, well, I guess you'd be the expert on that one.
Boom. Oh.
So
you got served.
Shit. Keep your...
I don't know who we are right now.
Are we trying to be sassy black women?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Shelby's in the kitchen. And Dom comes in and he says, by the way, I don't know if they ever call him Dom. I just can't say Dom.
Oh, the entire time in here I have it Dom.
Okay, he and I are good friends. So
change approved.
You can't avoid me forever, Shelbs.
I never touched you the way I touched you.
Ooh, I liked that. When he was kind of coming on to her, and she's upset, and she says she loves Matt, but he basically propositions her and says she's not vibrating, or she says she's vibrating.
She says she's vibrate. What does she say? She's like vibrating with anger, or like.
I'm sorry, but I would choose Dom over Matt any day of the week. I retract everything I said about Matt after this episode. I think he is a pussy baby.
I agree.
Thank you.
But he's practically a robot now.
Oh, yeah. He's not really a pussy baby. He really is just...
Robot Matt walks in and is like, you want her, you can have her. I don't give a shit what you do. Fuck her right here for all I care. Just stay out of my way.
That was... that was pretty...
Not pussy?
Not pussy and not very Matt-like. That was mean.
No, he's a robot right now, though. So...
I like that Dom laughs and like kind of pulls his shirt up and he's like, ooh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then you have Dominic, as in like the preview for the last week. You see him finally going to the confessional. And he pretty much says in like one thing that like he's only there for ratings and extra money. And he's there to be the bad guy. And the bad guy always gets the most screen time.
Do you think he was playing a bit of a role? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I know, right. But I mean, as the episode goes on...
Oh, yeah.
He's really a good guy a little bit. Yeah, and I think he's trying to be like, okay, I have to be the bad guy, so I'm going to act like the bad guy.
Oh, he thinks Sid's still in the background, that everybody's still watching, that he still has to pull off this shit, you know what I mean, in order... So, I don't know if he's a good guy yet, but I think that you could be definitely right about that. My two things about this scene. One, when he's like, what's more important than screen time? I really wanted him to say, the Quan. From Jerry Maguire. Because he had that, like, Jerry Maguire, like, oof, about him. And then also, remember he referred to several reality stars that got big? Who's the crazy bitch with the fake leg?
That's what I was going to say. That was one of my things. When I heard that, I cheered. So that's a Real Housewife reference.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. Aviva Drescher, Real Housewives of New York. And this is so, like, crazy... bizarre that they would put this in here with Omarosa, who everyone knows, and I don't know who else he said, but when he said the woman who threw her like, so Aviva in the middle of a fight is like, I'm fake, is this fake or something, and pulls her, it's just a fake leg, pulls her fake leg out and throws it on the dinner table.
How is that not bigger in the world? How did I like not even read about that?
All kinds of shit happens.
It feels like Amy Poehler in SNL when she's got that fake leg and she like hops on it and she's like, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I fought it.
I want Andy Cohen to be my friend and I wanted to call him up and be like, did you just see that shit?
Okay, cool. Question answered. That's awesome.
But Sid talks about how Dom brought him in to ruin lives and he's like kind of giggly about it. He's got that special body camera. Right?
Yeah.
And I do like that he says, what's more important than screen time? And he calls people watching judgmental motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. And this episode is much different than the other episodes because they're swearing. And I know FX blocks it out.
No, they definitely paid for it.
The swearing made it seem more real, more human. Because
absolutely.
Adults who are scared swear.
Yes.
I mean, adults swear.
Absolutely. I'm sure that they actually probably took a couple of swear words out of the couple, because they have to pay a certain amount of money every time that they swear.
Even if it's beeped out?
No, not if it's beeped out.
Well, all these were beeped out. All of them.
Oh, okay. So I watched it. Well, no, I watched it, and then I watched it on FX Networks, and it had all of that. So maybe it's because I watched it online the second time that it was all completely uncensored.
Okay.
So
I didn't even mind that it was censored. I'd rather it censored than be like, you mother freakers. Like we talked about in Rocky Horror.
Right.
I didn't mind the beeping. I liked the swearing.
Yep. Then we cut to Shelby sobbing in the bedroom.
Yeah, after Matt said he didn't care if Dom fucked her over the kitchen table.
Yep. And then she approaches the camera as if she's going to say something or do something.
I thought she saw the blood on the lens, maybe.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what I thought.
Okay. And then all of a sudden she notices Agnes behind her with a cleaver.
Well, you see Agnes in the, like, if you are the camera, you see Agnes behind her, and it gave me chills.
Oh, it was creepy. And then all of a sudden, Agnes is kind of cornering her and going back and forth as Thomason and Agnes.
Yeah.
Which is...
I just wanted to be on the show. He said no one cares about me anymore. Mm-hmm. And Shelby's like, I'm just trying to talk her down. I'm the butcher. And Shelby tries to, Agnes, put the knife down. Shelby turns around really quick, tries to open the door. And
holy shit,
damn.
I did not expect that.
No. Cleaver to the fucking shoulder.
And that blood, like when she turned around, like it was almost like, whoa. And then all of a sudden she turned around and it was a second whoa with the amount of blood. You're like, oh my God, that just...
It looked so painful, and kudos to Broccoli Rob, her crying and sobbing.
Honestly, next to Kathy Bates, this episode was Broccoli Rob's by far best performance in all of her American Horror. Like, she did...
Like, I could almost feel it in my shoulder, the pain.
She was so real. She felt like such a real person.
Because the crying
in this entire episode.
She did, in the which she hasn't beforehand. But I think that's how it was written. No fault to Broccoli Rob. I think she was written a little...
No, but she pulled it off in a way where I didn't feel like I was... I mean, I obviously felt like I was watching a television show. But her reactions...
Because it wasn't pretty crying.
Were so realistic. Like...
Yes.
She did awesome.
I do have some notes further on, though, about this injury. But,
okay.
So...
Me too.
Okay. All right. I wonder if it's the same.
So we probably have the same.
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
How do you wield something with so much fucking vigor, right?
But Shelby keeps filming, and I think that Agnes asks her what she's doing, but she says, I'm going to die, and I want the world to know who's responsible. Agnes garbling some butcher garbage.
Mm-hmm. I even looked it up, and it didn't even make sense. Yeah. I know it was more Irish, but it did not.
I'm the butcher rush here. And she's about to cleave her down her fucking head, and who comes to the rescue?
Dom, dom, dom!
Dominic! And they wrestle, man. Agnes. She been, like, going to the gym or something? Girl's got...
Agnes is cray.
She is nimble as fuck.
She is.
She's agile, nimble.
Like, she's a fucking cat in this, man. She's got 9 fucking lives.
Well, especially right after this scene. Like, he throws her into the window.
By the way, this episode is going to be like the last episode of American Horror Story. A lot more cursing.
So he wrestles with Agnes, and he saves Shelbs.
Yep.
Turn around. Which, okay, did you see this? But even before they turned around, the camera shows right where Agnes had fallen. Literally a millisecond after Agnes isn't there.
She's gone.
Yeah.
She's very, very sneaky.
She is. I feel like a woman of her age, stature, size with that dress, I feel like she'd be like...
She makes some noise.
As she got back in the closet.
As Agnes proved in this episode... she don't underestimate her.
Where did she go? Because she came out of the closet. Did she just like go back in
slid
the
under the
closet
bed.
and nobody looked for her?
She slid under the
I
bed.
think she did.
And she's under there like, hee hee hee.
But Dom's like, where the fuck is Agnes?
Exactly. And then we get commercial.
And the name Agnes, too. You know, it's like such an old lady name. Like, she thwarted us again. How did Agnes get away again?
Oh, Aggie.
So we come back. Everyone is tending to poor shelves. Audrey is wrapping her arm. And there's this, like, really funny exchange about her playing a nurse.
Oh, I was a nurse.
Oh,
No, but for the theater.
Yeah. And Dom goes to the camera and he says, Sid, she's really hurt. Send a fucking ambulance. Matt's there. Even Matt cares. And then the next scene, you've got Marcel. What's her name?
Lee does come in and say somebody cut the phone lines.
Yes, that's right. We've got Monet in the confessional. It's just a short scene where she says she's scared. It's been an hour. No ambulance. Mm-hmm. Not an important scene.
So Matt decides they need to go look for the production trailer and nominates Dom to go look for it. And he's like, you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm going to stay with Shelby. You're going to go. And Lee just says, fuck it. This is bullshit. I'll go.
Which is
and Mama is packing.
Mama, I wrote that too. Mama is packing. Don't you think that... Well, I think that I would be Lee. I can see my husband being like, I'm not going out there, and me throwing my arms up in the air, rolling my eyes.
Oh, fine.
I'll go.
I have to do everything.
Don't you feel that way?
Do I have to fight all of the ghost colonists myself? Fine.
Don't you feel that way?
You make the dinner. I'll fight the ghost colonists.
I'm not making dinner. I'm ordering a pizza.
I just fought a bunch of ghost colonists. I'm going to be famished, and I'm not making that shit.
I totally related to Lee because like watching the men bicker, I'd be like, oh fuck. It always takes a woman to take care of everything. I feel
it's like, you know what's so funny? Matt's like, we have to go, and it ends up being the three other women.
Yeah, the three women. Well, Matt and Dom jerk each other off at the house.
Pretty much. And then Shelbs, Monet, and Audrey go to actually take the tunnel in the woods because of Audrey's suggestion.
Okay, I think this is stupid. Audrey's like, I know a secret way out. It's a tunnel. Who is this a secret to?
But why do you need a secret way out? Why do you need a secret way out to get to the forest? Like, I'm sorry, but what's the necessity of the secret? Who are we trying to keep the secret from? Agnes? Okay, I'm sorry. If Agnes can come out of the fucking bushes...
Agnes was in the previous documentary. I think she knows about the tunnel because clearly girls been watching it on repeat.
If she can survive an attack of OJ... I mean, if she can survive, like, Agnes knows. Guys, Agnes knows.
It's just the whole idea that the tunnel is secret from someone.
Yep.
The tunnel is...
So, they're going through the tunnel, and they're bitching and moaning. Monet's like, sue everyone, fuck Sydney, blah, blah,
and
blah.
Audrey still thinks this is all Sid.
Yep, and then...
she gives details about that goddamn Saturn Award. She didn't think Agnes would ever become homicidal about it, which is funny. And then we see who looks like Rory.
This legitimately creeped me out.
Oh, me too. Rory, is that you? He does an I Am Legend scream.
He got very roar-y. Rory? There's my pun for the episode.
I liked it.
He got very roar-y.
Got that, folks? Rory. See what she did there?
See what I did there?
She's been learning.
I have.
She's been studying her Audible.
My closed caption said roar, and I'm like, oh, he's being so Rory right now.
The roar was very I Am Legend, was it not?
Yes.
I expected his jaw to drop down like and detach.
It actually, it's so funny, it's for such a small scene that it legitimately creeped me out.
Me too.
The way it happened.
Lee shoots 4 times with abandon.
Mm-hmm. Who did? Pew, 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 pew.
And he goes down, but he gets right back up and does that another of those terrifying I Am Legend screams. And, okay, so I'm thinking this is Mott, right?
Yeah, it is.
And is Finn Whitrock playing this right now?
I don't think so, no.
You don't think Finn Whitrock is Mott? Okay, all right.
Actually, no, he's not.
Oh, you know for sure? All right, well. They run out.
Stay tuned.
I like it. They run out, and the girls are like, will he follow us? Fucking Lee. Oh, Matt says...
Do you believe us now?
Well, and she's like, Matt says he likes to stick to the tunnels. What the fuck, bitch? Why didn't you tell us there was a zombie down there? Why didn't we take the tunnels?
She's like, guys, this is the least of our worries.
When Audrey
I can handle a screaming man.
When Audrey was like, I know a secret way through the tunnels, Lee should have rolled her eyes and been like, bitch, there is like some zombie Rory down there.
There's some guy that's gonna be all up in your face.
Let's just go through the front door, maybe?
Because there's no reason to go down to the tunnels.
And we end up in the same spot?
Really no reason. I just want to hone that in. That there was no fucking reason to use the tunnels.
I know. But anyway, they get over it.
Yep.
Oh, and they go to look for Sid and the hidden trailer.
Yeah, but then you cut to Matt bringing Shelby some water and meds and pretty much telling her, I really did love you, but our marriage was over the day we moved into this house.
Yeah, and Shelby's so desperate, and she says that we can get it back. And Matt does say some pretty telling things in the scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
He talks about how he's been lost. He feels like he's not human.
Stuck,
and that he was called back to this house.
Yep.
The next scene, we are back in the woods, and Audrey spies the blood moon and says something about it. And then they argue about what should they do. Should they push on and find the trailer? Should they go back? And then immediately as they get to the trailer, they see the dead bodies of Alyssa and Sid. And who saw two dead bodies? Where's the camera guy?
Yeah, no, it was Alyssa and Sid, and the camera guy was right behind, because I thought at first that Alyssa's body was the camera guy for some reason. I don't know why I did, but I thought to myself, wow, for somebody who got stabbed a bunch of times, it doesn't seem to have a lot of bodily injuries. And then they pan out a little bit, and you see the camera guy right behind.
Okay.
So the camera guy is still there.
I watched it 3 times and didn't see that.
And I think that's when they start running. That's the camera angle that sees them.
Oh, okay. Well, then that vetoes my first idea or my first thing that I said about how that one.
We don't know when that was.
But that first camera that spies the deer.
That's what I'm saying. But we don't know when that was. We don't actually know when that happened.
Yes, you're right.
So that could have just been sitting there.
Yes, okay. So that could have been the cameraman's angle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So then they're walking around like crazy. And what's so funny is...
Wait, I love this quote.
I think he's dead. Leave me alone. I'm not American.
I'm not used to all this carnage.
It's so great. I loved that line. And then they find out that every phone and car is absolutely dead. They can't do anything.
But honestly, where are the phones? Where would they be?
I mean, maybe Agnes took them. Maybe Agnes was smart enough to just grab everything, knowing that if they did find them, they couldn't find a way out through them.
Speaking of Agnes,
she comes
flying at them again.
She comes out of that. She stays in that bush. She's like, you know what? When I'm not in my cave, I will be in this bush.
She's like a little wood nymph.
She really is.
Happens to her, but she's always there.
Mama's packing.
Yeah, but she only shoots she only shoots Agnes once. She shot zombie guy 4 times. She should have saved her bullets for a
She's
real
like,
person.
I'm running out of bullets now.
Oh my god.
So they run into the middle of the woods. And as Audrey is telling Monet, listen, we cannot give up. We're all tired. I know you want to, but we can't give up. They see 2 really creepy people on the opposite side in the opposite direction that they're walking.
No, at first I thought that on the opposite side of Lee, you see the colonists.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
2 people with torches, but colonists, yes.
And they're chanting, right?
Yeah.
And Lee says, get off the road now.
Yep, and then they run like hell in a very Blair Witch manner.
And who wouldn't find them with their cell phone fluorescent lights and then their woman screaming?
Yeah.
And they're not running very fast.
Yep.
Audrey is a dead weight. They should ditch Audrey.
They need to ditch
would have been
Audrey
okay.
like that. Oh, I want to go back for a second, right before they find the butcher. Don't you find it funny, that scene where they pan out and they're all in front of the trailer and they're all just cameras in each other's faces? It's okay, at this moment, I don't care if you need footage or not. I'm not holding a phone.
I know Lee has been really adamant about the filming from the cell phones. Mm-hmm. And so I probably in that moment, whatever you're holding on to becomes sort of like a safety net.
Good point, yeah.
Or, so this is what you've had in your hand this whole time, and it's something to hold on to. You're
abstract
right. As that sounds.
It's a very good point.
But you're right. It looked super silly.
Yeah, it kind of did. But so they're running like hell. Like I said, very Blair Witch, and then you have a very wet, sobbing, very much like Heather Donahue from the Blair Witch. You've got Audrey right in the camera, just dripping.
Isn't this very actressy? Her tribute to Rory. Clearly she's an actress where she talks about, if you find this, know that I loved you and you gave me the best months of our lives.
I love the best months.
And then, a few drops of blood are on her face, and Angela Bassett goes to work.
Are you hurt?
Yeah.
It was very, I don't know, kind of campy to me. Are you hurt?
But the read of the line?
Yes. But then you look up and you see a beautifully disemboweled
Rory suspended above them. Did you know it was Rory right away?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't necessarily know who it was right away. I didn't recognize the face.
I love me some Evan Peters, especially when he's covered in intestines and blood.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
I'm not even your husband.
Yep. Super weird.
Pig sounds, disemboweled.
Super weird.
Super weird. But crazy, right? I mean, crazy.
At this point, you know what? Honestly, I'm kind of like last night. At this point, I need a break. Can we break?
Let's do it, girlfriend.
All right, cool. Thank you.
We're calling an audible. Hello, this is your Boob Tube Betty, Bethany. And getting Boob Tube Betties off the ground and out there to the public has been a bit of a struggle. Wow, that was a lot of B's. Personally, I'm not very social media savvy. I don't Twitter, my Snapchat game is sad, and sharing links, all that jazz is way beyond my comfort level. But the bottom line, we want people to hear what we've got going on, and I've got to do my part. So, I've started listening to Social Media, Strategies to Mastering Your Brand, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat by David Kelly. Please go to www.audibletrial.com/boobtubebuddies to try your free 30-day trial. Audible.com has over 180,000 titles available, something for everyone to get into. Speaking of social media and connecting, can someone really explain hashtags to me? I mean, I get the point, but generally speaking, I like to put a hashtag so ridiculously absurd there's no way that anyone would go looking for it or have posted anything under it ever. Apparently, that's not how you're supposed to do it. www.audibletrial.com/boobtubebuddies. Hashtag girl on podcast that can't use Twitter. She's such a dumb dingo. Yeah, go ahead and try and find that, people. Welcome back, little buddies. Hashtag little buddies drinking beers. Hashtag I think a mosquito bit my foot and now it's itchy. Hashtag I love me some Coors Light. I also hashtag love me some Bud Light Platinum. Hashtag cheers.
Hashtag Audrey's sobbing.
Those are all hashtags that nobody will ever look up. Well, maybe they would look up hashtags, but hashtags they won't.
Hashtag.
Okay, so we come back. We're back in the woods. By the way, I hate all the scenes in the woods. I just get super anxious and they make me, I know something bad's gonna happen. I don't like them.
But you know what? I don't care how many woods they put in this episode. I was just anxious the whole fucking time.
I know, my shoulders were sore.
Yes.
I had to take an Advil.
I had to take an Advil.
I said Advil.
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 And Advil is what they give you at urgent care. It's 4 times the amount of Advil.
Was that product placement?
Yes, it was. They're in the woods. They're still filming, and they have been basically found. And then this is where we see the flashlights again.
Well, that's when Lee demands Monet turns her camera on.
Yes.
Like, you better turn your camera on. Well, thankfully she did.
Yeah, better turn your camera on because we need more lights on here in the woods so that people can find us.
But it is actually a good thing that she did because she turns it on and she notices people behind them.
But it doesn't matter because they're hiding. And then, oh, this creeped me out. Where you see Okay, can we just say it's the Polks? We know it's the Polks.
Yep, and zapped by the cattle prod.
What are you taking pictures of, little lady? Mm-hmm. So it is a cattle prod. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. That scared the shit out of me.
Not cool.
And they're zapped, and clearly they are captured.
Well, Monet starts running the other way. And then all of a sudden, you know who that was?
No. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Here we go.
You know who that was, don't you?
Let's play the game.
Oh,
do you know who that was?
I don't know. Tell me, Kristin.
Finn Whitrock. Zatarains.
For dinner.
Yep.
So that was Finn.
That was Finn Whitrock.
Okay. I'm fast forwarding a little bit, but
Okay.
is he the Polk with the gross zitty face?
He's Kane Polk. The one that's good for nothing, just taking pictures and selling weed.
How did I not spot that? Why am I so bad at this?
Stop it.
Every week I'm like, as we move forward, I don't want her to say, you know who that is, right? You know who that was, right? It's like,
well, that's what I missed. I just said, you know who that was.
I know.
You know who that was, right? What was so funny is that I was so scared. I was so scared I was going to say that, and you're going to be like, yeah, motherfucker, I do.
No, I'm never going to say that. I never know. I'm a goddamn idiot over here thinking I've got the best intel ever, and
Which
I never
scares
do.
me, knowing that Finn Whitrock has the most fucked up character of all time.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like,
and being a Polk, I don't want to know what's coming. I don't want to know.
The Polk scenes really make... I hate...
Unfucking comfortable.
Oh, I hate them. It is... Okay, let's get back to business.
So then we're back to Kathy Bates filming herself in the cave, and she's removing the bullet from her chest because she's a cat with 9 lives.
Yeah, with the pliers that she burned. And I thought this seemed pretty easy to get that bullet out. Yeah. I know she was like... Ugh.
To me, I was like, Mom, if this is what she's able to pull off, she's kind of a badass.
How did she pull that out? I mean, honestly, I don't think... She's in a delusional state, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know what she was saying. I just went mumbling like a crazy person.
No, she was. She was just mumbling. And then it cuts to Matt waking up like a robot.
Although she does say, this house and everything in it will be consumed by fire. Only ashes will remain. Okay, Agnes. We
All
got
right,
it.
Agnes.
Take it down a notch.
Exactly.
But yes, you're absolutely right. The next scene is Matt and Shelps in bed. Not in a sexy way.
No, he just fell asleep next to her, taking care of her.
So he wakes and walks in a trance to the basement, like he's being
definitely very robotic.
Robotic, yes, you said that. Yes, that's a perfect word. And
I have a really bad habit of not only parroting you, but like I parrot myself. I just completely always repeat myself.
Oh, you don't. And I repeat myself too because I'm like, I hope everyone heard me say that word.
Me too. And then I listen back and I'm like, I heard it the first time.
Oh, whatever. We're just human. Yep. You guys try this shit. I bet you won't be nearly as good.
I get very meta when I listen to our podcast.
But Dom, for whatever reason, is chilling in the kitchen and sees Matt headed towards the basement, and he follows him, and he's filming him. And Matt goes down the stairs, and you hear Matt say, I've been waiting for you. And Skahach grabs him and pulls him, and there's this like weird, scary sound. Did you hear that?
Honestly, what's so... It's so
You're
funny.
like pig squeals, you mean?
You know who that was. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn it.
But this scene right here, I don't know if it was the found footage or what, but it felt very creepy. Like, even her attacking him to bring him forward.
It's not creepy. Not at all.
No, I'm saying they just did it really...
creepy.
I was going to say, I'm like, but I think they did... No, you're right. No.
Yes, exactly.
Hashtag people pleaser.
Yes.
No, but I thought they even did this well. It wasn't cheesy at all. It felt very scary movie.
And we already kind of knew what Skahawk would look like because we saw Lady Gaga. But it was still kind of... It gave me a little bit of chills to see her. Ew, excuse me. Sorry, my throat made some weird sound.
I didn't hear it, so...
Excuse me, my butt just made some weird sound.
All right, quiet your BH and let's continue.
Oh, my damn BH. But they're, Skech and Matt are kissing and crawling, or she's crawling on top of him. And Dom sees this and he's like, he's got to get Shelby up. Shelby, you got to see this. And he rouses her and they go down to the basement. And she sees it, and
she's Matt.
She fucking attacks. She says, "Get off of him!" She hits Scarehawk with a crowbar, and Scarehawk like scuttles off like a little crab.
Yeah.
And Shelby's like, "Get out of here before she comes back."
Then Matt insists, "Listen, I came back from her. Came back for her.
What?
I'm in love with her, Shelby. She's the reason I came back."
And did you see him hold on to her shoulders really tight? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, her shoulder is hurt.
That shocked me.
Okay.
And then I thought I was done being shocked for the moment. Turns out I wasn't.
Did that surprise you that Matt said that? Because it surprised me. I know he's been pretty ambivalent about why he came back.
No, I wouldn't say that surprised me because I knew there was something continuous with Scarehawk and him. That didn't surprise me. Shelby's reaction surprised me. I think I screamed. I think I held on to the couch. I think I needed to even pause it for a second. You didn't expect this.
Shelby loses her shit. And it hits Matt over the head with the crowbar. But she doesn't stop there. She bashes his fucking skull in. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ryan Murphy, for completely, ruining my theory, but I'm so glad you did because... Oh, my God. This was such an unexpected, holy shit, oh, my God, so much has already happened in this episode, and then you throw this in? It was so brutal. It was so graphic. And unexpected. Like, we're 40 minutes in, under the blood moon with all these ghosts, and the only people who have done the killing are the humans. Over and over and over again, she's hitting his head in with the crowbar. Dominic eventually pulls her off, but the camera pans and his head is completely caved, smashed in. I can't believe they were allowed to show that. It's straight like Gumby style, like the clay. Can you believe they were allowed to show that? I feel like that was super really gory. Good makeup. Honestly, it made my tummy churn. The fact that Shelby came out of nowhere and bashed Matt's skull in made my tummy churn. The makeup was awesome. On his head? Yeah, like just the whole... It was so God. Good. Man. And then I'm just thinking, she's really upset because clearly she's pregnant. I literally have a note that says... I won't have to eat piggytail. Clearly. She's pregnant. You know, at this point, you know what I was thinking today? Was I have we're still doing this bet... but another bet to go on top of it where we both don't have to eat it. For people who haven't listened, Kristin and I made a bet at the very beginning of this season, I think at episode 2 or 3, that she thought that Shelby would end up either magical or some sort of witch. I thought Shelby would end up pregnant. The tides are turning. It's not looking so great, but the bet was that if we were wrong, we would eat pigtail because pigs have been so present. And if we were both wrong, we would still eat pigtails together. Right. If we're both wrong, we're going to eat pigtail together. So I have an idea to where we can still keep this a bet where one of us still loses. Okay. I'm not ready to do this tonight, but let's have our answer ready for housekeeping next week. Okay. We need to choose who survives. Oh, goddamn. No. I can just I have no idea. Like, literally, I told you I have no thoughts and theories after this. I feel like you're going to guess right, and I'm going to get stuck eating that. Listen, all of my theories have been mediocre bullshit, apparently, because I'm wrong about everything. So, listen, I think this would be good. Or, if you could think of something else for us to, like, do even... You know what? I'm not going to put myself in that position. You know, it honestly, at this point, it seems like we're trying to get out of it. Well, okay, so that's... You're like, yeah, we are. I really want to have another bet then, and who survives. Okay, well then it's got to entail something else, because we can't change a bet we already made. Okay,
So we'll think about this and we'll get back to you guys. But we are going to pick a survivor.
It's going to involve eating pig feet. No, I'm just kidding.
We're going to pick a survivor and we're going to pick a bet on top of that bet. So,
because eating pigtail isn't bad enough.
Nope. And we really want some listeners, so... Hashtag marketing
if
tools.
you guys have any suggestions for what a good
Yes,
bet,
absolutely. Please email in.
Yeah, if you think
tweet us.
If you have a good idea, I'm pretty much always have been. You can dare me to do almost anything, and I usually do it.
Yeah, that's why you and I, because actually Lauren and I were talking about if you had bet anybody else in our group to do the pigtail, everybody would have been like, absolutely not. And I'm the only one that had been like, all right.
Right. Yeah.
So we got to think of something else, but I want to pick the survivor, the lone survivor.
Owner of a lonely heart.
Exactly.
Okay, commercial break. We're at the Polk's house.
Wait, can we go back real quick?
Yes.
To something that we wanted to talk about earlier on.
Okay.
How the fuck did she wield that entire fucking crowbar and kill him when she was just cleaved in the back?
Thank you. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. Yes. Cleaved so hard. Is cleaved a verb? I don't even know.
Change approved.
Cleaved so hard that when you saw the wound open, you could literally see the divot in her skin in her shoulder. But you know what? Audrey was a nurse in some movie. So
here's another thing I didn't look at before. I had that question down.
Maybe she's magical.
We should have looked at is, did she get slashed on her right arm and she's a lefty or vice versa?
But it doesn't matter because she is grabbed by the shoulders by Matt and then later again by Dominic.
Yeah.
And there's like no reaction. And she had that crowbar in both hands.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
So Kristin, maybe she is magical.
Or maybe she's got a baby inside her that's magical.
Or maybe it's not
if
even,
there's
maybe
a
it wasn't
baby
even
inside
real.
her that's magical, do we get out of this whole thing?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. All right, so now we got a stupid commercial.
Caveat.
Now we got a stupid commercial, and now we're back, and we're at the Polk's house. Lee's getting tied down.
Yeah, they're tying down Lee, and Lee's trying to bargain. They just laugh at her. And then I put gross zit guy, but now I know that's Finn Whitrock. Mm-hmm. God, he was creepy. He gave me the
Polk.
So rapey.
So rapey.
And Lee kind of throws out. She's like,
make your life easier.
Well, what is that called? Name dropping. She name drops Sid, and they make fun of Sid and says, that boy's only good for weed and taking pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
And Lee says she has money. And then we meet the real mama.
Yeah, I love how she's
Mama's
like, well, we like our
life. Yes.
Just the way it is. Even the law knows better than to fuck with them, and that's why the cop drove away in a couple episodes.
Now, do you know who Mama is?
Yeah, she's nobody. I really thought she was, what's it called? Nancy Botwin from Weeds. She kind of looked like an old makeup version of Mary Louise Parker in Weeds, and I'm like, oh, so this is the 7th season of Weeds, and it just takes a really ridiculous turn. But she's actually nobody. She played one other part.
Wait, hold on. Before you say that. Did you watch Dexter?
Yeah.
Okay, because Adam and I thought that she was the lawyer from Dexter that Jimmy Smits kills.
She might have been.
I think that she was.
I know she was in one other episode in Asylum in American Horror Story.
Okay. Do you know who I'm talking about, though, in Dexter?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's her.
You're probably, yes.
I knew I recognized her, but I was surprised that for Mama, they didn't choose...
Somebody? Anybody?
Somebody that we were familiar with.
That's what I'm saying.
They did that on purpose. You know?
Well,
obviously,
if
they
you
did it on
notice
purpose.
throughout the whole episode, the real quote people, not the quote, the real people,
right, not the
aren't actually people. Like, aren't actually people we know.
Yeah,
you look at their history and filmography and their acting; they actually done little to nothing.
So probably that was done on purpose, and it was probably a good move.
It's interesting that they would take the reenactment actors and make them the important people,
which goes back to what your husband said in like the very first episode about,
it's so funny. They actually made it the opposite. The real people are nobodies,
right?
And the nobodies are the real people.
if nobody has listened to our first episodes and they're listening to this, they'd be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Well, that's your problem. You're missing out on like 6 other great episodes. So sounds like a you issue.
Anyway, Mama tells her sons to cut them off, and she's referring to Lee's jeans. Oh God, this is so gross. They cut Lee's arm open, and Mama refers to
Was it her arm? I thought it was her leg.
What I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, she cuts the duct tape off of her hand, and she says, make it, rub it in, referring to Lee as an it. So they make Lee rub
the peanut
oil all over her leg
and then
and sprinkle it with seasoning. And she says, never skimp on the seasoning.
It's the trick to sweet meat.
Jesus, oh my God. Mama says, everyone knows the secret to sweet meats is to tenderize it.
I mean, we all know that, but we don't need to see it.
And then she stabs her hard after sprinkling her with adobo.
It was too much.
With badia.
With adobo. With a little Old Bay.
This is a good one, tiny leaf. Bay leaf.
A little bay leaf.
God, man, no, that was like a hard stab.
Oh my God, it was disgusting. The next scene was the hardest for me to watch, and it's not even gory. It was the hardest for me to watch because it was the most real scene. Like, it felt so very realistic, very traumatizing. I felt very affected by it.
Well, and this is where I actually felt like Dom was a human.
I didn't. That's actually...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have an opposite feeling about that.
Okay.
Because I think he's for the camera. Shelly, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to help you. Okay, but first I want to go back to... they're in the bathroom, and Shelby's covered in Matt's blood. And she pretty much tells Dom, listen, I came back from him. As soon as he starts taking the crowbar from her, you see, like, the entire switch in her brain. Like, oh my God, I killed him. Oh my God, this is real. It was insane. It's such a disgustingly real performance, in my opinion. It really, like, it made me sick because it was...
It made you want to throw up your broccoli rabe?
Pretty much. It's just like the, oh God, he's dead. I killed him. And like, even Dom looking at her and saying, like, he's gone. He's dead now. I'm sorry.
I just thought it
was very,
I think there was a different way for him to handle it after he talked about how a bad guy always wins sort of mentality. And he could have played it differently, but I think he was being...
For the cameras.
Whether it was fake or not, I think he was being very, treating her gingerly. He could have been freaked... I mean, he just saw her kill him. He could have been... duct taped her into the bathtub and been like, bitch, you crazy.
I was wondering why he was so subdued about the reaction he had on her killing him. But the one thing that threw me off that I was like, you know what, you're just a sleazy shithead, was when he goes, I tried to stop you, but you were so out of it. There was nothing I could do.
He did not try and stop her.
So that's what, any feeling that I had of, oh, Dom, you actually might be a good guy, got killed at the moment. He was like, oh, well, I tried to stop you, but everybody sees you on these cameras. Like,
yeah, no, I agree with you. Honestly, because he is a liar. I mean, clearly he's a liar. I thought, oh, I hope that he actually cares about her enough. That's not a good way to put it, but maybe he'll help her fabricate some sort of story. Not that she should have when she just killed some guy, but I was kind of hoping that he would say.
I was actually surprised she wanted help
to cover it up.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to what Brad and Ryan said about you can't trust
them.
But I did sort of hope that he might say that. But he's absolutely right, because he says, you know, honey, the cameras caught everything. There's nothing I can do for you. The only thing that you can do is surrender yourself to police custody once the other girls come back.
But he could have totally attacked her the first wield of the fucking crowbar. He could have, like, literally just lunged at her.
Just like he did with Agnes?
Yes, exactly.
No, he didn't care.
So, you know, I thought that he was gearing towards something a little nice, and the moment he said that, I thought to myself, I'm like, No, dude, you could have stopped that a little ahead of time. So.
When he said that, I thought, oh, he's covering his bases. Mm-hmm. And did you see, again, he's holding her by both shoulders and sort of like her shoulder controlling would be killing her. Yes. Did Brad and Ryan forget that she'd been cleaved? Continuity flaw for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
For sure.
So, yeah, that's what he says. We'll wait for the other girls to come back, and then you'll turn yourself into the police. And he hears something maybe, but he goes to the window.
Oh, they're coming. They're here.
Yeah, and he thinks it's Lee and the gang, and it's fucking Agnes. This woman has energy at the wazoo. I'm so jealous. What is she on? What vitamin is she on? I need it.
I'm telling you, she's the butler from Mr. Deeds. She's like, I'm Betty Betty Sneaky.
Oh my God.
Hi.
How old do you think this woman is? That she's like traipsing through the woods. Anyway.
I need her happy pill though.
I know. She's poured, you get the gist, that she has poured cans full of gasoline, that she probably walked the 5 miles into town that the other girls made seem like was so much. Do you remember that when they're like, it's 5 miles away? Come on, 5 miles? It's nothing.
Just do it, dude.
But Agnes, like, Olympian style ran, got the gas cans and came back and threw it all over the house.
Agnes Usain Bolt is actually her real name.
Usain Bolt. Dom's like, oh shit.
That's, yeah. And then,
we're back
to the Polks.
Yeah.
And you see him doing a line of coke.
God, I hate all these Polks.
And Audrey asks for a bite, and I thought it was Monet asking for a bump, but I was wrong. And Audrey asks for a bite of something that they're eating. She goes, she says, can I have a bite? That's the last thing I have, or something like that. But she's talking about the food they're eating, like not actual human, I don't think. And then Jether Polk is...
Smile for the camera.
Smile for the camera.
God, they're so rapey.
Monet's begging them to let them go, and then Audrey realizes that she's like, oh God, where's Lee?
Right, and Mama says, leave them girls alone.
Yep.
Eat up. And throws a plate of Lee jerky towards them. Yep.
And that's when she's begging to let him go, and Audrey asks,
sorry about that. You're fine. Eat up, you need your strength. And you're right, they beg. Come on now, she's a little chewy, but she ain't that bad.
She ain't that bad.
Oh, yep. God.
Yep. And then
it forces them to eat Lee in this scene. So, and I know I've said this before, but so Texas Chainsaw Massacre-y.
Well, that's why I said, like, I felt like I was watching 3 different horror movies in one episode. Like, you had the Polks. Mm-hmm. Then you had the Blair Witch kind of aspect of it.
Yep.
And then you had the whole other aspect of it in the house.
Yes.
And so I felt like I was watching 3 different really good scary movies all at once.
What I will say, though, that is in this episode, I felt like they melded it really well versus in other seasons, other episodes. And I complained about this where it seemed like the vibe, the theme would completely change. This seemed pretty fluid. It seemed...
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would...
Real good.
If we had done a podcast on seasons before, I wouldn't sit there and say, I feel like I'm watching 3 different movies. I feel like I'm watching an ADD producer.
Here's what I'm afraid of, is that I think that had we been podcasting about other seasons, I would have been just as zealous about those seasons and been like, this is awesome. I mean, I hope I wouldn't, but...
I don't know. Okay, so coming from a perspective of even halfway through the season, if I wasn't happy, I still balls to the wall went for it. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, best season, best episode, all time.
Bar none.
They've done something so completely different. You thought that it couldn't get even more different because they already went from Murder House to, we're going to have a completely different cast, a completely different time. You keep changing. It was just mind-blowing. It was really good.
Having the insight, though, into knowing what they've done for each season and what they do and all the little ins and outs, I think does make me appreciate it more than I would had I not known it. You know what I mean? So I feel like I don't necessarily know if my opinion, my take on it, I'm giving it 5 stars. Would I have given it 5 stars without having all this information? I don't know. I'd like to think that I would because
No, I think for both, I think that's where they have actually scored and hit the nail on the head, is you've got 2 different ways about it, and we're both going, you know what, bar none, best thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
It's so good.
They're not doing that thing I hate where they throw everything in and make it really weird.
And it's not campy either.
It's a little campy, but in a way I like.
No, I'm saying, like, it's not campy as a whole.
Yes. Right.
But they definitely dose it in there at the perfect times.
Brad and Ryan, we like you.
What did Cheyenne Jackson said? That's not the cricket sound. Still my favorite line. It did so well. Okay, so Agnes, we now cut to Agnes
outside of the house shouting,
threatening to set fire to the place. She's like in an Irish chant.
Brogue.
And then all of a sudden you see the real colonists with the torches approach behind her.
And she turns around, my brethren.
She didn't say my homies?
My homies. My homies. And we see the real butcher step up.
Yes.
And
were you not... I was so disappointed.
You know who that was, don't you?
Yeah. You know who that wasn't, don't you?
You know who that was, right?
You know who that wasn't. Who was it?
I don't know.
It wasn't anybody. I looked it up. She's been in shit. And it wasn't Jessica Lange. And I was really hoping, and so was the world.
Oh, well, that just further proves your point about how the real quotation mark people are supposed to be...
Yeah, I had 2 sides to it. Super excited that you proved me wrong about Matt. Super disappointed you proved me wrong about Jessica Lange. It would have been just a cool cameo. A 5-minute cameo. But apparently the butcher stays until episode 10. So
I like her little crescent roll hair. Didn't her hair look like gorgeous, yummy crescent rolls? I might have watched this while I was really hungry.
Now I'm really hungry. She kind of just looked like a really dark version of Bette Midler and Hocus Pocus.
She did. Yes, you're absolutely right. She did.
That's how I felt.
But I like that the real butcher had a little bit of like confusion and frustration, like annoyance on her face at dealing with Agnes.
Oh, I loved it so much. And she even was creepy for like the 2 seconds she was on there.
And Agnes is in shock and awe, gets down on her knees in admiration. My maker.
My idol.
And then I don't know if she's Agnes or the butcher at this point.
She's like, Agnes, acting. Definitely.
Okay, because she says, I'm sorry. I just wanted to be on TV. Yep. Cleaver down the middle of the head.
You know what's interesting, though, is, because I have to say that at least once an episode.
Interessante?
You know what's interessante is, and I noticed this the 3rd time I watched it, was Shelby doesn't flinch. Doesn't even flinch.
When she's cleaved? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't realize you could see them. I know Dom, at the very end of the episode, Dom goes, oh, shit.
Yeah, it pans right to, like,
the bedroom window.
Cleaved, and you see Dom's reaction as soon as it happens, and this is, like, Shelby's just stone-faced.
Huh. I didn't notice that.
I noticed it, like, the 3rd time, and I was like, why does she not even, like... I'm sorry. I know that you're, quote, used to this, being in this house, but you cannot be that used to it to where you don't even, like, jump a little bit.
Maybe she took a couple hydrocodone for that shoulder ache. And
that's what made her a superhero.
Yeah. That
couple drinks and a little
oxys that Matt gave her.
Exactly. And it actually says that Kathy Bates will be the butcher until episode 10.
That'll be interesting.
So either they're going to pull the Guinness on us and take that all away, or we're going to see something. Who knows?
So that's how the episode ends, and this, we've already said it, most gruesome episode ever. 5 deaths that I counted, 5.
But I love that it's not only the most gruesome episode, but it was the most chilling episode too. Oh, and most people in most movies and TV shows, you either do gruesome or you do thriller, suspense. Mm-hmm. And this was a mix of both.
After watching Sorry, I mean to interrupt you. After watching Next Week On, actually my death count was at 6, but on Next Week On, you see that Lee is not yet dead.
Yeah.
So, which is awful. She's like poor Dr. Elias.
Yeah.
Who was carved open.
I have a feeling she's going to get a couple more extremities removed from her.
We watched Hannibal this weekend, and I think I'd rather Hannibal carve me open than the Polks.
Ugh,
at least
awful.
Hannibal's classy.
And did you see the Next Week On where it's Kane Polk telling Lee that we live in America, we get TV. I'm not looking forward to whatever this scene is because I'm so terrified that it's the, quote, famous Finn Whitrock scene that's worse than every scene.
Oh, honestly, I thought the Polks seemed a little unnerved with the whole TV aspect of it. So I thought, okay, well, maybe this is when the girls get the upper hand because they seem a little...
But we have to remember, nobody gets the upper hand, really, except for one person.
And so it's not Matt, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, like, that's why I have no theories and thoughts after this.
I don't think Shelby's going to make it because I feel like Scanhawk is going to be pissed at Shelby.
Oh, yeah, and I think that somebody made a really good point. I think it was Entertainment Weekly, like... Shelby's not going to make it because she had her big scene this week.
Yeah.
So, I think it might be Lee, but I'm not ready to commit to that yet.
So we covered a lot of the questions that I had at the end of the episode. I told you that I would have some stuff I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. We know why we can't trust Matt and Shelby. Why can't we trust Lee? We don't know yet.
You know what's interesting is...
Where the fuck is Flora?
Maybe we can trust Lee.
I want a shirt that says
hashtag. That's where I'm at now. Where I'm so sure I cannot trust her that I'm like, you know what? We trust her.
I know. She really does seem the most level-headed at this point.
I'm at a loss, man.
Angela Bassett is wasted drunk. Dominic is a sleaze bag. Shelby's nutso. Who else do we have left? That's it.
What if it's Kathy Bates that makes it to the end?
Oh, and Audrey.
It's Agnes.
Audrey.
Agnes makes it to the end, and she's the one that survives, quote.
She was cleaved.
Yeah, but apparently she's supposed to be in the rest of the episode.
As a ghost. I'm the ghost of the butcher.
Ghost. Blood.
Maybe Flora wins it all.
That's the one who survives.
Flora, yeah.
Flora's like, hi, guys. Hi.
What's that character from SNL? She's like
Gilly.
Gilly, yeah.
Sorry. I want to thank you, Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk, like, because I'm officially at a loss, and I've been into so many different TV shows, Game of Thrones, all that. You can do so many theories, and some of them do end up working out. And I can confidently say, apart from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes mirroring the seasons, that is the only thing I've been right about.
Oh, no, you...
No, I'm okay with that because I'm talking about, like, future theories. Like, It's all gone to shit, and that's awesome because none of what I expected. If it had been fulfilled, great, I was right, blah, 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 but I still wouldn't have been happy because that means... You literally just did what everybody thought you would do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't even know what to expect next week. Next week is just an hour-long silence because we have run out of words. They've completely officially shocked us.
Oh, man. That was so good.
So good.
You ready to end this shit?
Are you going to cuddle me tonight? Because I'm still pretty scared.
Only if while we're in bed you pour a beer all over me.
Do we know where the remote is?
We got the replacement in the mail today, my friend.
All right.
Good night, little buddies.
Good night, little Betty.